Welcome back, everyone, to the hottest crypto analysis you're gonna get. First off, a quick apology from me. My area got hit by a storm, so this is coming out a little later than planned. Really appreciate your patience on that. Okay, so today, October 9th, 2025, the market is making some incredibly smart capital rotations. We're gonna break it all down.
Yeah, Bitcoin's hanging out around $121,000, but let's be honest, that's not where the real action is. The spotlight is shifting hard over to altcoins, and this whole thing is being driven by two absolutely massive catalysts and one pretty serious warning sign that we need to decode. All right, let's dive in.
You know, the analysis we're seeing suggests we're officially entering what's being called the acceleration phase. This is basically the final high-octane, super volatile stage of the bull cycle. It's where that last major price surge usually happens. So yeah, things are about to get very, very interesting.
Okay, let's kick things off with the first major catalyst. And this is a development that could seriously open the floodgates for institutional money to pour directly into the altcoin market. We're talking about the big layer ones here.
So here's the bombshell news. New SEC filings are suggesting that the upcoming Ethereum and Solana ETFs could actually include staking rewards. Now, this isn't just some minor feature, okay? This fundamentally changes the entire investment case for these assets. It's huge.
Think about it from the perspective of a huge institution. Getting a regular yield, basically a paycheck like a stock dividend, from an asset that's also growing like crazy, that is the holy grail. It lets them justify their investment based on cash flow, not just hoping the price goes up. It makes these ETFs unbelievably attractive.
And listen, this isn't some far-off theory. We are seeing the effects in the market right now. Speculation around Ethereum and Solana is absolutely on fire. And the rumors that a Bitwise SOL ETF could drop this week are just adding fuel to it. This could be the very thing that makes top altcoins just blow past Bitcoin's performance. And of course, none of this is happening in a vacuum. The bigger economic picture, the whole financial environment, is actually becoming super supportive for assets like crypto. It's like we've got these powerful tailwinds pushing everything forward.
We're getting a powerful one-two punch here. On one side, you have entire countries like Luxembourg jumping in, basically giving crypto a government-level stamp of approval. And on the other, you have the US Federal Reserve hinting that they're going to make money cheaper, which always pushes investors into higher growth assets like crypto.
All right, on to our second major development. Because while all eyes were glued to the ETF news, a whole other group of very smart investors was quietly moving their money into a completely different sector, looking for that next big story.
And would you look at this? Zcash, a privacy coin, has just gone on an absolute tear. We're talking a staggering 278% gain in just 30 days. This is the classic sign of capital rotation, where money finds its way to undervalued sectors that are ready to pop. So why the huge surge? Well, it is not random speculation. It's actually being backed by a pretty serious tech trend. The Ethereum Foundation itself, the brains behind the whole ecosystem, is pouring resources into privacy research. They've even got this new wallet roadmap called Kohaku. When the core devs of Ethereum focus on something, the market pays very close attention.
And as if that wasn't enough, we're also seeing some of the most positive movement on the US regulatory front that we've seen in years. And that really provides a solid foundation for all of these other trends to build on.
What's happening in Washington right now is critical. You've got this Genius Act, which could basically make stablecoins the official backbone for global payments, boosting the entire DeFi and real-world asset space. And you've got a new SEC chair, Paul Atkins, who's actually saying that regulatory clarity is a high priority. That's the long-term certainty that institutions have been begging for.
Okay, so everything sounds incredible, right? All this positive news. But, and this is a very, very big but, there is a major warning sign flashing bright red, and we have to talk about it before anyone makes a move. The risk right now is getting impossible to ignore. 70. The fear and greed index has just rocketed up to 70. That officially puts the market in the extreme greed category. And what that really means is that people are getting dangerously euphoric, maybe even a little disconnected from reality.
Look, the bottom line is this. Historically, whenever this index gets this high, it's a screaming signal that the market is overextended. It's running way too hot, and a short-term pullback to cool things down becomes extremely likely. This is absolutely not the time to be making reckless decisions.
So, the big question is, how in the world do you navigate this? An environment that's totally supercharged, but is also clearly super risky. Well, the answer is you need a disciplined strategy. It's essential.
Here is a hard-nosed, three-step approach. Number 1, you have got to control your FOMO. That means not chasing coins like ZEC that have already pumped like crazy. Number 2, put your capital into quality projects that have clear, obvious catalysts coming up, like the Layer 1s with the ETF news. That puts the odds in your favor. And 3, watch the daily money flows into the Bitcoin ETFs like a hawk. That is your real-time gauge of institutional confidence.
Okay, this market is moving at lightning speed. So let's zero in on the exact events that are going to shape everything over the next 24 hours.
You need to be paying super close attention to two things. First, how does the market react tomorrow to what Fed Chair Powell says today? Does all this optimism hold up? And second, keep refreshing your newsfeed for any updates on those amended SEC filings for the ETH and SOL ETFs. Any confirmation on staking rewards could be absolutely explosive.
Which leaves us with the biggest question on everyone's mind. We have this incredibly powerful catalyst with the ETF staking news. Is this the final ingredient we needed to send Ethereum smashing through $5,000 this week? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your take. We'll be watching it all unfold together.